Like they were back in high school. Something inside me shifted. A quiet, powerful click, like a lock turning. I walked past them and got into the backseat without a word. During the entire drive back to the hotel, I stared out the window, my reflection pale against the glass. The laughter faded eventually, replaced by Adam's irritation. Seriously, you're really going to be dramatic about this? Dramatic. That word stung more than the prank. Because it wasn't drama to expect the person you love to treat you with respect. It wasn't drama to expect safety. It wasn't drama to feel hurt when your fear became someone else's entertainment. I didn't answer him. I couldn't. I needed silence more than anything. Silence to process, silence to breathe, silence to understand that something fundamental had cracked. When we reached the hotel, Adam stormed ahead, annoyed, muttering under his breath. His friends snickered like schoolboys. I trailed behind, heart heavy, mind suddenly so clear it scared me. This wasn't just a prank. This wasn't just a joke gone wrong. This was a revelation, a moment that peeled back a layer and showed the truth beneath. He didn't value me, not deeply, not respectfully, not the way a partner should. I lay awake that night while he slept beside me, oblivious, snoring lightly. I stared at the ceiling and thought about the future, about what it would look like with a man who found joy in making me small. I thought about trust, about dignity, about the person I was before him, the woman who would never have tolerated being treated like entertainment. I didn't cry, there was no need. Instead, I felt a slow, quiet transformation, like steel cooling into shape. Tomorrow, I knew, would be different. Tomorrow, there would be consequences. Tomorrow, I would start choosing myself. The morning light seeped through the thin hotel curtains, casting soft golden stripes across the room, but nothing about the new day felt gentle. I opened my eyes to the sound of Adam breathing steadily beside me, still asleep, as if last night had been uneventful, as if he hadn't left me stranded for hours in a foreign town as a joke. My suitcase sat half-packed by the door, a reminder of the turbulent thoughts that had stormed through me all night. I hadn't slept, not really. I lay there listening to the hum of the hotel's hallway, the distant clatter of carts in the kitchen below, and Adam's careless, peaceful breathing. Each sound made me more certain. The man lying beside me did not understand what he'd done. Or worse, he did, and he didn't care. When he finally stirred awake, stretching lazily like a cat, he leaned over and kissed my shoulder. "Morning," he murmured, as though everything was normal. I didn't respond. He let out a sigh, long and frustrated. "You're still mad? Come on. It was a prank. You know how the guys are." I turned to look at him slowly. "They weren't the ones who made the decision," I said quietly. "You were." He frowned, clearly annoyed that I hadn't snapped back into the forgiving version of myself he preferred. "It wasn't serious. You're blowing it way out of proportion. Harmless. Dramatic. Sensitivity." Those were always the words he used when he crossed a line and wanted to pretend he hadn't. But something had changed in me. Something deeply rooted. Something that told me this was not just a mistake, it was a glimpse into who he truly was. The morning passed with stiff, awkward silence. His friends had planned to visit a vineyard, and Adam insisted we all go. He said it would fix the vibe. The words made my skin crawl, but I agreed. I didn't want to fight. I wanted to see him clearly, without excuses or hopes clouding my judgment. The vineyard was beautiful, stretching endlessly along rolling green hills that glowed under the late morning sun. It should have been romantic, magical even, but instead, I felt like an outsider walking through someone else's honeymoon. The tour group moved through the vines while the guide explained the history of the land. Adam and his friends walked in front, laughing and pushing each other, and I stayed behind, letting the cool breeze wash over me. Halfway through the tour, as we paused near an ancient stone wall, I overheard Adam's friends whispering. "She's seriously still sulking. Dude, women are so sensitive. You've got your hands full, man." Adam laughed, a deep, mocking laugh that cut through me like a blade. Not a nervous laugh, not a guilty laugh, a laugh that agreed with them. That's when everything inside me snapped into place. This wasn't a misunderstanding. This wasn't poor judgment. This was who he was when he felt safe among his people, careless, dismissive, and cruel. When we reached the wine-tasting area, I excused myself and approached the vineyard owner, a gentle man with weathered skin and kind eyes. "Is there a taxi nearby?" I asked softly. He nodded. "In the village, 10 minutes down the road." Relief washed through me like warm sunlight. I thanked him, then walked back to Adam. "I'm heading back to the hotel." He looked annoyed. "We're not done." "I am." His friends snickered. He stepped closer, lowering his voice. "Don't make a scene," he hissed. I stared at him. "I'm not making a scene. I'm making a choice." And I walked away. This time, unlike yesterday, I didn't wait for him to follow. He didn't. I could hear his friends laughing behind me, their voices dissolving into the breeze as I made my way down the dirt road toward the village. I found the taxi, climbed in, and shut the door. For the first time in months, maybe even years, I felt like I could breathe. The ride back to the hotel was quiet, peaceful even. The countryside blurred past the window in wide green strokes. When I stepped into our room, I didn't hesitate. I finished packing. Every folded shirt, every pair of shoes, every small reminder of a trip that was supposed to be beautiful but had turned into a revelation. I booked the earliest flight home for the next morning. Then I sat at the small hotel desk, tore a page from the notepad, and wrote, "A husband who laughs at his wife's fear is not a husband I want. We'll talk when I'm home." I placed the note on the bed. My hands didn't shake. My voice didn't crack. If anything, a strange calm settled inside me. I spent the rest of the evening on the balcony, watching the sunset paint Italy in shades of orange and gold, feeling a quiet ache mixed with quiet strength. When Adam and his friends returned near midnight, they were loud and drunk. Adam stumbled inside, barely glancing around the room, and collapsed onto the bed without noticing the packed suitcase or the note. I watched him for a moment. The man I thought I married. The man I desperately wanted to believe in. Then I turned off the balcony lights, picked up my suitcase, and walked out. The hallway was silent except for the soft hum of the elevator. When the doors closed around me, I allowed myself a single deep breath. Not sadness, not regret, just release. At the airport the next morning, I finally turned my phone back on. Messages from Adam poured in instantly. "Where are you? Are you seriously doing this? It was a joke. Stop being dramatic." Then the final one. "If you walk away over something this stupid, that's on you." I stared at the text for a long moment, then typed, "You didn't leave me as a joke. You left because you don't respect me. And I won't build a life with someone who finds my fear amusing." Then I turned my phone off again. And I boarded my flight home. Alone, yes, but for the first time in a long time, free.